Greetings. Happy day. It is so awesome to see you all. I am tirra-olufemi, your goddess guru. I have a goddess who lives in me, and she is my guru. Her wisdom works for me very well. And so I seek to share it with other people. As my ancestors have told me, please share the wisdom given to you, because there may be someone else who can use it along the way. Today, I would like to talk about the old and what do we do with the old. There's so much talk about the calendar year 2011, as it always is at the beginning of the new calendar year. And this morning, I was reading a book called Daughters of the Dust. I initially saw the movie and was so inspired by it that I decided to read the book. And in this book, it is about the Geechee people on the islands just off the coast of South Carolina. And it is really a story about knowing who you are and going back to your roots, digging deeply to figure out, am I who I think I am? I've constructed this ego brick by brick. And I think I know who I am. And many of us have labels and titles that we live by. And it's almost difficult for us to not expand ourselves and extend ourselves beyond these titles because we believe in them so much. Our identity that we've created is so real for us that we really believe that's who we are. And so as I have been reading this story, I'm realizing that that's what this book is about, largely as I see it. Well, there is a character in the book named Elizabeth who has decided to become a school teacher, which is a very big deal because the people who lived on these islands are former slaves, and many have left and gone to the mainland, gone to other cities to work in factories, to live more like the people live in American culture during that time. Well, the ones that are still there, it almost seems like they're stuck in old ways, almost. Their language is a dialect, very African in accent, and of course the language is English. And to a lot of people, would sound like they were speaking broken English. Of course, Africans were never taught really how to read and write in slavery, but still, they did adopt the English language and speak it with their African accent. Many of these people also remembered the old ways of the ancestors that came from the different cultures in Africa. So you'll hear them talking about different cultural traditions, also different deities out of the African spiritual pantheon. And it just seems like they're stuck in the old ways. It's really interesting. Because people who are not from the Geechee people, they have a difficult time coming in to teach the children how to read, to write, do the alphabet, math. So Elizabeth, this main character, decides to come in and come back to the island to teach them, and she's struggling. It is not going well for her at all. Right around that same time, she has a cousin named Amelia who is from New York City. Amelia's grandmother is from these people, these Geechee people, and Hagar hates these people. That's Amelia's grandmother. She hates these people and wants Amelia to have nothing to do with them. But Amelia decides, I'm going down there to study my people as an anthropologist. Well, as Elizabeth is pondering Amelia's presence on the island, she feels envious of Amelia because Amelia will see the old with new eyes. The old will be new to Amelia, whereas Elizabeth is struggling to make something positive of the old, to make some sense of the old. And that's how I feel many of us are in our lives. We are struggling to see new things in the old. And that is our challenge today. One of the things that I like to tell people is that we create our reality. You see, something that was said to me a while ago that I took and ran with is, I am responsible for my life, all of it. even the childhood on up. Because what happened long ago, maybe I didn't have control over it, but I have control over how I respond to it now and how I allow it to affect my thoughts and my life and my actions now. So if we decide we're going to take 100% responsibility for our lives, then we can look at the old and assess. My thinking landed me in this place. My desires, my lack of living beyond my predetermined limits have landed me in the old. There's no judgment in the old. There may be some assessment we need to do. We may need to tweak the way we think, but there's no judgment of the old. The worst thing we can do is look at the old with disdain, as so many people were doing, the Geechee people. But there's good in the old because we can learn, this is how I need to move from here. There's good in the old because when we get tired of the old, guess what? It might be the old is trying to send us on our way to the new while we're holding on to the old. So what I'd like to encourage you to do is, number one, this year, know who you are. Okay, so you've lived according to all these roles. You believe yourself to be X, Y, Z, however you want to describe yourself. Someone once said, the least of your real self is greater than 100% of your superstar made-up self. So let go of the superstar made-up self that we all present to the world and try to figure out, who are you? And when you do that, you'll look back at the old and you can appreciate it. And you can say, you know what? Wow, I did great things. Given the old, wow. I mean, given that I was living from that limited place, or given that I stayed in a stagnant place for so long, I still made it. I did good things despite. And let's move on to the new. One of the best things you can do is to know who you are, to be okay with who you are, and from there, your thoughts, your desires will compel you to live differently. And it may be that you don't have to get rid of the old. You will see the new and the old. It may be that you do need to move on from the old into the new. But the key is, make some sense of it. Take responsibility for your life. No scapegoating, dude. No scapegoating, goddesses. No way. We look at our lives, I don't care how much of a mess it is, and just like Big Mama used to do back in the day, go get that broom and that dustpan and let's start sweeping it up, okay? Let's do that in 2011. Let's look at the old and say, okay, what are we going to do about you? Let's do something. So this is tirra-olufemi again, your goddess guru. I hope this inspiration has assisted you on your way today. I like to tell people that I share what's going on with me. So basically, I'm in the midst of using my broom to clean up some old things in my life. But I tell you what, I'm appreciating it. So many blessings be upon you from the goddess. May you realize that your blessings are ever present. All you have to do is just stand there with your hands open, your heart open to receive them. They're there waiting for you. And I send you on your way with much gratitude, hoping that you walk in gratitude and appreciation for the old, the new, and you. Peace.